everyone. Welcome to a special On the Road conversation. I'm coming to you today from Westchester Studios in Westchester, PA, and I'm joined by a very special guest, comedian, author, friend of the show, friend of mine, and a guy I really look up to. Not just because I admire him, but because he's really tall. Tony Rogers. Tony, how you doing, man?
Doing great, everybody. Thank you very much for that lovely intro. You forgot actor.
Oh, yes, actor too. I don't know. I'm really sorry.
Sorry, man.
I'm really sorry.
We're doing this for the first time.
Yes, we are. And in fact, for those of you who followed the show from the beginning, you know that most of my interviews, or conversations, I should say, are on Zoom. But Tony and I decided, you know what? When we have this conversation, we got to have it in person because it's just not going to be the same. We're just not going to have the same energy on Zoom that we would have in person. So we are here in person, about to have a conversation you will never forget. Okay, so here we go. Now, Tony.
Yes.
I met you back in May at Soul Joel's.
Soul Joel's.
When you opened for Jay Black. And I actually had the opportunity to do a few minutes myself that night, thanks to Jay and Joel. And on that night, I discovered that not only are you a really nice guy, but you're a friggin' funny guy. So that's when I discovered it. When did you discover you had the ability to make people laugh?
Wow, that's a good question. Long time. I think in school, I want to say high school, I was pretty much a funny person. Then from there, just I remember reading and just watching a lot of comedy.
Oh, wow.
Back in the day and stuff like that. And then one day I started to write in my notebook, and I wrote just on one page. I wish I could still find it because I normally hold on to things like that. And it's just nothing but jokes that I've heard. Not my stuff, but it was like your mama jokes back in the day. Like way back now. Your mom's got a mouth here and here. She chew like this. Like just this stupid jokes. Your mom's so fat, she jumped in the air and got stuck. Back in the day stuff, man. That's lunchroom stuff.
Okay.
So we'll go back
you were
and
the
forth.
class clown?
I wouldn't say I was a class clown. I bounced around from school to school, but it was one of those things where comedy was always there. You know what I'm saying? So it was always like something you can always just like look into as far as I was on the East Coast or West Coast. I was raised by coastal.
Okay.
It's different.
Wow.
Yeah, I know, right? That's what I was saying. I was like, wow. Somebody said it to me when I was explaining to them my upbringing. They was like, you're bi-coastal. I was like, first of all, watch yourself. Don't let the earrings fool you. Say it again. It's like bi-coastal. I said, oh, okay, all right. Because I grew up in the East Coast and the West Coast.
So what was that like? How do you think that helped shape you as the person you ultimately became?
I think it helped shape me because I can understand the road a little bit. Because when you're on the road, it gets lonely, but at the same time, I've been doing it for so long. Like I've been like back in the day when you used to fly.
Yeah.
They used to give you the wings. You could sit in the front, and the flight attendant actually got you where you needed to go. Not, on some place where you're like sold.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was, so I think just doing that, so bouncing around. In the beginning, it was like, man, what is it all about? And then turn around, that's why I'm able to meet people like you. Like it's nothing. Like it's just regular talk. I'm not like, oh my God, I'm so anti, I don't know how to talk to people. So you just get used to it. So, yeah, man, it's, wow. Good question. Comes a long way.
Do you think it helped you make friends, having that ability to crack jokes and things like that? Did it make it easier for you to connect with people?
I believe so. I would say it was much easier to sit back and, because it's like it's almost like karaoke. People go to a bar, and if you're ever scared to go to a bar and just hang out, go to a karaoke night.
Oh.
Because everybody there is going to either talk to you or you're going to listen to something like, who's singing that?
Yeah.
And conversations just start to happen. They don't care if you're talented or not. It's damn karaoke.
Yeah.
You don't have to have any talent. Just go out there and just belch it.
Well, it's what's interesting as you're saying that. I'm thinking about that night in May. We had a chance to talk a little bit, but then there was a night a couple months later, back at Soul Joel's again, when you were opening up for Kayvon.
Awesome, boy.
And we had, after the show, which was a phenomenal show that night, you guys crushed it.
Stand ovation, bro.
Yes. I do remember that. Absolutely.
There's the word, ladies
From
and gentlemen.
start to finish, it was a standing ovation worthy performance from everybody.
Yes.
Maria, you, Tookie Jackson did a guest spot
There it is.
that night. So I also remember afterwards, we're hanging out by Gatsby's, the restaurant connected to Joel's. And we started a conversation. And to your point about it just happened. It was you, Maria, me, Tookie joined us.
Right.
We closed the place, and the time flew. It was like we were all lifetime friends by the time we were done that night. Hey everyone, thanks so much for tuning in. We appreciate each and every one of you. And we also appreciate our first and longest running sponsor of the show, Tom and his team of insurance professionals at the Malin Agency. If world-class customer service and doing business with someone you can trust is important to you, give Tom and his team a call today for all your insurance needs.
A lot of people say those are the moments right there that the comedians connect, right? That's a real like bonding session between comics. I think they've done it in the past in other places that they had in New York City. I know they would go to like a diner or something. I think comics just ended up there, and then all of a sudden you just start talking. So when people be thinking like we're DJs and we're out partying, half the time it's just sitting there chopping it up. Like, oh, did you see that? Oh, you know this person? Oh, where you at now? So stuff like that just always just like you said, all four of us came together right there, and we just sat there and we closed it out, and it was like, did we know each other from many years? No.
But it felt like it by the time the night was over, and all we were drinking was water.
I mean, yeah, that's
or at least I think that was water.
Yeah, it was water we was all drinking. I was at a hotel there that night. I was drinking nothing but water.
Well,
and took Uber.
Now, both those nights, the night in May when you opened for Jay, and the night with Kayvon with the standing ovation, like I said, you crushed it both nights. But looking back, what inspired you to first have the courage to get up there and do stand up? Do you remember that first night? What led to you eventually getting up there and doing it for the first time?
For the first time. So when I was coming up, I didn't know where comedy started. I didn't know where you go. I didn't know any of that stuff. So I played basketball. So when I played basketball, I went to college. And once I played basketball, I didn't really think about comedy that much. Just being funny when we're out, just so situational. But then after basketball, I was walking past an open mic, and I was upstate New York.
Okay.
And it said every Sunday. So I was like, all right. I was with my homeboy. I was like, yo, we both went to school for communication, so let's just go there. Let's see what's up. So he's like, next Sunday. I said, all right, bet. So next Sunday came around, and he didn't want to go, so I went. So once I went in there, I just never came out. I just stayed there every Sunday for about 4 months, just watching, taking notes.
You didn't perform? You were just watching?
I just watched, taking notes on the comics, taking notes on the crowd reaction to things, and just seeing what was like topics that was like making people laugh or not laugh. And I didn't understand open mics now like I do, because open mics, you might be horrible. And like, no one's going to laugh. And I'm like, okay, that joke didn't laugh, but why? This crowd is not responding. But not realizing that, oh, okay, so half the people in the crowd might be comics.
Yeah.
So I didn't know. So from that point on, man, I just stayed with it, and then I got into I took a class to see how it would play out. Did a class. I think Bill, I forget his last name, but he was the professor or the teacher or the liaison, whatever you want to call it. And we did the class, and then the graduating show happened, and I was like, oh, this is going to be great. And the graduation show is on YouTube, but it's older. So from that point, I was like, okay, let's see what happens. And then, dude, for the first 5 years of it, I was just a bar comic, man. Now I said that's a bad thing, but it was like I was just either just opening up for people, just hosting. And I was like, all right. So I felt like I didn't really hit a pinnacle in comedy. I felt like it was more of a hobby at that time. But then when I went to the Funny Bone in Syracuse and did the Clash of the Comics, and I won, I was like, okay, here we go. This is different. That's a different vibe now. Let's see what happens, It's a different energy. And then from that point, that's why I feel like, I really call being a comedian like really was like the reborn or the born or whatever. Just that first 5 years was like, so from that point on, man, 2015, it was that was it.
Wow. I mean, I give you credit for hanging in there and persevering like that, because it is amazing how, in my short journey in comedy, it's not even a year yet. I started in January taking a class, and I liked it so much I took it again. Not because I got held back, but because I wanted another video, which was always cool.
And plus, he could afford it. So I couldn't afford so many classes. That's how it works in the hood.
Yeah.
Got lucky.
That's true. Although, actually, I have to say, it's a pretty cool bargain, the class at Joel's for – the video alone is worth the cost of it. And you got Jay Yoder, who records his podcast here at this very same studio, teaching it along with Joel or Steve Rinaldi. So, I can only speak to the short time that I've been doing this.
Right.
But if you look at all these years now that you put in, these experiences and things, what would you say are some of the key lessons you learned, early on?
Key lessons I've learned. on stage, I learned not to rush. Don't be fast. Take your time, man. Just talk. Because when I first got on, I was like, the first couple of years, bro, a lot of sweat. And I was like, why am I sweating? Because I'm just talking so fast. And plus, I'm close to the lights because I'm tall.
Yeah.
So
how tall are you, Tony? What are you, 6'8"?
6'7", man.
6'7"?
Not
Okay.
6'8", man. I wouldn't be talking to you. I'd be getting a lead, baby. I mean,
Well, we could have used you in that game against the Cowboys, by the way, defensive end, getting after Dak. But
man,
anyway,
a lot of people say that to me. They're like, yo, man, you should be on the field. I was like, first of all, like before slavery or after? Because I'm a little confused now when you say it like that.
The football field.
Nah, definitely. But I'm sorry. What's the question? You said
About the lessons.
the lessons
Lessons
that I've learned. One, like I said, on stage, slow down.
Yep.
Second part, just be grateful of any stage time that you get, man. I learned that like when I go to an open mic, I treat it like it's a show. Literally, like I like to go to different open mics. Like not just stay in one open mic in that one area. So I go to like different cities. If there's an open mic, I travel as if it's a show. I get dressed like it's a show, and then go out there and just perform like it's a show, just to see, because those other comics at that point to me, you're just your fans. I know you do comedy, but I'm gonna, hopefully make you laugh at some point. And then I think people see your talent, and then all of a sudden, boom, like it's like, hey man, we got this show that we're doing like in a month from now. We was wondering if you, wow, you really good and stuff like that. Or you get to open mic and they'll be like, have you ever done this before? I was like, nah, I never done. How do you do this? How do you? What, I sign something or sign up right here? Oh, we got you. We're gonna put you in the sweet spot. Okay, all right, sounds good. Sounds good.
Nice.
I see how it goes. But I was like being on the basketball court back in the day. You like do layups with my left hand. And like, man, this guy seems okay. Oh, no, I'm right-handed. I was like, oh, wait till we get on the court. We gonna get him.
Oh man, that's some good strategy.
So yeah. So then off the stage, I want to say lessons learned, man, is just watching the people before you. Seeing what they're doing and stuff like that, and not taking it in as a jealousy more than it is a lesson. You know what I mean? You sit back and it's like, it's okay that people are funnier than you. It's okay that people are crushed. It's okay that you're going to get there, And I think the gratitude from that to be able to watch the Tracy Morgans, the Lavelle Crawfords, the Jeff Dye, I mean, even the Kay Vaughn and Mark Riccadonna and Sean, so many people that I've gotten to, watch and learn from, man, and I got to like perform with a lot of them. And even though I'm the opener or the host, I felt like I was a part of something, so.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Well, that kind of transitions into my next question then, especially with some of the names and experiences you just brought up. So we talked about some of those lessons, but what are some of your favorite memories so far?
Favorite memories? I mean, obviously the standing ovation over there at Soul Joe's.
Even I got up.
I know. I was shocked because they said you have to leave, and you was like, oh, I got to get up. Can't take the chair with me. I'm going to say... wow, man, some of the smaller spots have been great. Highlights would be open up for Andrew Schultz before he became big. Me and Steve, actually, that's when me and Steve first really bonded and stuff like that. We was Funny Bones, Albany. Okay. I was a feature, and Steve was the opener. Well, he was our host, and then
and that's Steve Rinaldi?
Steve Rinaldi, yeah, okay. Steve Rinaldi. And then Andrew Schultz closed it out, and it was just a great experience talking to him. I got to meet Ralphie May. He shared some experience. As soon as I told him I was a comic, he was like, dude, why don't you tell me? I would put you on stage. I was like, I didn't know. It's your show, man.
Wow.
That's when I was in that phase where you were at, but like, do I say something?
Yeah,
do
exactly.
I not say something? Like, I don't want to be like that guy,
Yep.
So on tour with Ed Bassmaster, man, that was probably one of like the bigger highlights, because that dude, man, he's a beast at what he does, and he had his following is just ridiculous. So every show we had was sold out, man. Wow. Every show we had. So for Caroline's in New York City, a little iffy, but still good show, So I did a clip with him in Niagara Falls. You guys got to check that out, Niagara Falls. Ed Bassmaster, Niagara Falls. You'll see him on my shoulders. So it's we was doing some bits up there, man. And then we sold out Rivers Casino.
Wow.
Yeah, bro. I remember the first time after we got on stage, and I'm walking around, I'm going downstairs, and I think one of the coolest things was somebody walking up to me. Lady was like, oh my God, your concert was great. I was like, wait, you called it a concert, not a show. A concert. Felt like a rock star. I was like, a concert. Holy damn. So, and then I remember when somebody had complimented me, and this is when I like learned something about it, right? The whole thing of like, I would say, hey man, how'd you like the show? It was like pretty good. I was like, was I funny? It was like, man, you got great stage presence. I was like, okay, but was I funny? You have great stage presence. I was like, yeah, but was I funny? And I take that to equivalent of if you're like, Tony, I got this girl for you. I'm like, yo, Bill, is she cute? You're like, yo, she has a great personality. I'm like, Bill, is she cute? Tone, great personality.
Yeah, she's got a good job.
It's like, damn it. So then I realized the importance of the whole like great stage presence. And when I took it in, I really like just studied it as is a likable characteristic to have on stage, right? So when you're on stage, you're likable.
Yes.
So I turned around and was like, wait a minute. I'm likable. So that means that people just, even if I'm not the funniest, you will just want to probably be in the presence.
Yep.
So I sat back and was like, okay, that's more important to me now. So when I go somewhere, if I got great stage presence and I'm likable, that can go further than me just being like funny. Because if I'm not funny, then I'm not likable. Put a bag on somebody's head.
Well, I think, and I appreciate you bringing that up, Tony, because I have to say, in the times that I've seen you, especially in person, again, you can watch clips, which is always great for people to watch your clips, but in person, there is a presence that you have when you hit the stage that people are just, you can see every eye, every ear is fixed on you. But I think part of it too is you have this like air of positivity, that comes out. You inspire, even in between punchlines, you're lifting people up, you're making people feel good. You've written a book to help inspire others, which I want to make sure we talk about. But
thank you.
Where does that come from? I mean, you are literally, and a mutual friend, Maria Elena. Hey, Maria, I know you're watching. And I told her at some point we're going to have to mention her name. Although I think we already did earlier when we talked about Kayvon, right?
Well, we didn't go into, we was talking before the cameras rolled.
That's right.
Because that's how we talk.
Right.
It's just a regular conversation.
We don't remember when it started, when it ended. At some point this will end. We just don't know when. But that's something that I think really separates you from so many other people I've seen, is just that whole positive presence that you bring, the inspirational presence you bring. It was evident in the 4 or 5 hour conversation we had after that night. So where does that come from?
Man, that comes from a lot, man. It's I think going back to when you're saying being alone, like when you're on the road and stuff like that. I'll be honest with you, man. God's my best friend. God is like number one for me, and I can always like turn and talk to him no matter what the situation is. So I listen to a lot of positive stuff. Like I literally like if I'm in my hotel before I leave, I'm packing up. I turn on YouTube and I turn on just motivational speech, and I just let it play in the background, just feed in my mind just that positive stuff. It's so many people in the world is so negative, and it's ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like, and they feed it. Every day they feed it, and it's not good. And so, like I said, I listen to a lot of positive stuff, a lot of speeches and stuff. I love quotes. I think quotes are pretty cool when someone can quote you. Like I think it's like really cool. I remember when Steve Harvey had said this one quote. He was like, when you're in the bed and he's like, you're about to wake up in the morning, you have two foremen in your body. You have negative foremen and then positive foremen. So you wake up in the morning, you're like, oh man, I got to get to this crappy job. I got this car that barely works. Oh geez. And these people, so crappy foreman here, negative. All right, guys, Tony wants to have a bad day, so let's keep it rolling.
Yeah, exactly.
So instead, you wake up and it's like, I got this job. Thank you very much, God, for that. Think I got a car that works that gets me to A and B, and the people I'm going to encounter, let's see what happens. Like, so and then that's when positive foreman kicks in. And it's like, all right, let's try to make sure Tony has a great day. It's never going to be a perfect day. Always going to be bumps. You know what I mean? So it's like I wake up in the morning. And before I even open my eyes, sometimes I'm like, I pray to God. I say, praise our Father who art in heaven, the kingdom come. Thanks for waking me up, putting air into my lungs. Thanks for keeping peace and patience in one of your sons. You're the holiest, so let's make today a great one. So a little bit of rhyme in there, kind of like keep me going and stuff. But so then I just go out, man. When I'm on stage, man, I try to give everybody love. Try to show them like, hey, man, keep doing it, because. You think about it, they say do unto others as you want others to do unto you, right? So it's like if you're not going to put that into action and give that positive energy to them, how you expect for somebody to give you any kind of positive energy back, So I have no expectations. If someone gives me love, you give me love. If you don't, it's all right. I'm going to be okay because, I got somebody that likes me.
Well, and it, like I said, it really comes through in ways that sometimes I don't even quite exactly know how to describe, but I think you just did a great job describing where it comes from. Yeah. So how did your outlook and the way you feel and the way you try to uplift others, how did that lead to the book? Where did that come from?
So the book wasn't even supposed to be a book. Dude, I remember when memes first came out?
Yeah.
They were quotes though, right?
Yeah.
Back in the day, they'd
Right.
be like, be like a little poster thing. And I remember reading them, and I remember people posting them on social media, and then like it's get a lot of likes. And then the memes transitioned to like people physically doing stuff or pictures in it and stuff. And it didn't get that much energy or that much traction. So I took a meme and I put it down on my post one time on Facebook, and it got a lot of it got a lot of love. It was like, oh man, that's pretty positive. And I was like, it's the same. I posted a meme, and then I post that. But it's like, what are you paying attention to? But you saw the
Okay.
words, and it was like, oh, he must have really wrote that and put thought into it. I was like, nah, it's the meme, but you just didn't look at it and put it together. So for me, I was like, oh, okay. So I just took that kind of concept and was like, man, people are just like, they're missing the positive message, even if it's like, draped by
Yeah.
something else. So and then I just got into, COVID hit. I think all of us was feeling such a way,
Oh yeah.
So for
Yeah.
me, honestly, man, a lot of stuff was just, it started off with me looking at quotes and then trying to make them, try to fudge my words in. And then it become me writing quotes and then looking at quotes because I was missing a word or two. And then I fudged that word in. And then it just came to me just writing. And it was just like, dude, I'll be sleeping, something come to me. I wake up and want to write a couple words. Like we do comedy. It's like, if you hear something in the funny,
Oh yeah.
you're like in the car or you
Oh yeah.
or in a restaurant. Let me write that down so I don't forget it.
Yep.
So it came to me like that. And then I just started, sending them out to the ladies and stuff like that, to my moms, my sister, my niece. Well, not my niece, but because she's too young. But she said she has the book and saw it. But and then it just started picking up traction, and it was like the ladies was like liking it and stuff. I was like, all right. And then it's like a part of me in there, right? We all feel pain. We all go through our moments and stuff, and it's just expressing them. So then that became a thing where I was sending out text messages. I called myself TG, your text guy. Like I just thought it was cool. Like I'm your text guy. I sent it out to some dudes in the care. You ain't telling me nothing. I was like, well, damn. All right. Well, tell me how you really feel. So then
And you were doing that because you're bi-coastal.
Yeah, very
Yeah,
bi-coastal because I was raised bi-coastal. So I used to put that out there, just messed it all up. The earrings, man, the earrings. So I went to Australia, came back from Australia. People out there feeling the same way, man. No matter where we're at, we're getting hit with this stuff. So I always looked at like pain is here. Our journey to get to that is totally different. Like me getting here. You was like, you come down this road, you get down that road. You're going to the same spot, but different journeys. So, but we can relate to it. So a girl in Australia has said, hey, if you put this in a format, I'd publish it for you. And then a friend of mine was like, yo, pick like the ones you want and I'll format it for you. I mean, it was people just telling me. And I was like, well, God was probably speaking through them. And I was like, all right, I'll do it.
Wow.
So when COVID hit, I just sat down, man. And like how you have these notes, I had like all of mine. I put it 50 pages, kept it light. And then I wanted it to drop in Christmas, and it didn't. And then I wanted it to drop in February for Valentine's Day. I said, this would be great. This would be great. And it's like, no. And I was like, God, drop it whenever you want. And then he dropped it on March 4th. And that's International Women's Month. And I didn't know that.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, oh, so you already knew what it was. So, yeah, man, over 1,000 copies sold the first week, man. I was like really shocked. Yeah, from Australia to America. And the lady that published it for me, she was like, who's your marketing team? I was like, no, it's just me.
Yeah.
It's just me streaming and talking to people and stuff. So, but thank you very much for those compliments earlier, man, about that positive stuff. I think a lot of people don't see that part sometimes, or they just don't address or say anything to me. But yeah.
No, you got it. Now, in terms of the book, because I know it's available on Amazon. I know you bring it with you to the shows, but tell everybody the name of the book and where they can pick it up.
It's called She, the inspiration she was looking for, is on Amazon. Also, I have them at the shows and inbox me, and I even send you like an autographed copy. And yeah, that's pretty much where they're located and stuff like that. I got a store that wants to look into it out of New York. My friend, she just brought a bookstore. So she was like, I need you to come up here. I want to do like I never had a book signing. So anybody want to do a book signing, please let me know. I'll definitely come
There
in.
you go.
Chop it up. I think that'd be pretty cool.
No, and I think it could make a great Christmas present, a great Valentine's Day present.
Yeah.
A lot of, or National Women's Month, whatever. It's a great gift.
Yeah, it's for both, man. You know, because you can cover up the S and put the inspiration he was looking for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even though we up here, we're tough and rugged guys. Dude, man, come on, let's be honest. We also need that energy. You also need that pick me up. We also, hey, man, listen, man, keep doing what you're doing, man. keep pushing through,
Yeah.
and it's like, all right, bet, let's go. Because we only do it to, I feel like we only respect it from the people that are higher up than us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Somebody has said one time, it was like, be kind to the people that are small, because you never know when the people that are small got to be kind to you. And that's just
Yeah.
not in height, you know what I mean? But it's just in life, you know, you never
Yeah.
know.
No,
So-
absolutely. No, I think that's a great way. And then if more people would adopt that kind of philosophy, I think we'd have a much better place.
Yeah.
And people would be a lot more fun to deal with on a daily basis too. But now there's one other thing you mentioned earlier. I gotta go back to this. And that was, you were talking about that clip of Ed Bassmaster on your shoulders.
Right.
There's a physicality, a physical part of your comedy that I think is just awesome. And folks, again, remember how big and how tall Tony is. So when he gets physical up on a stage, and some of these stages aren't the biggest,
Nah.
you know, and some of them, the lights are, like you said, almost kind
The
of hitting
lights
your head.
be hitting me, man.
But there are the way you do it, it literally just, it magnifies the laughter. So where did that come from, the physical part of your comedy?
Man, the physical part, you know, I don't really know. I didn't even think about it being like a thing, right? I remember when I had did a show, and I talked when I did my airplane bit, and then
That's the one that comes to mind.
and then this guy was just like, he's like, that's the only thing that's funny about your set, because I was trying out for the Boston Comedy Festival, and it was like, that's early on. I was doing
Okay.
a bar comedy, and I was like, oh, so I dipped into a club real quick, and I thought I was going to be able to get some advice from him afterwards.
Yeah.
But it was just like, he just wasn't really nice as a person. And I was like, he's a comedian. He knows the struggle. I figured I'd like, you know, just
Yeah.
get some pointers. And it was just like, yeah, your airplane bit. That's it. That's it. Just your airplane bit. And I was like, all right, is there anything else I can improve? And that's all he kept saying. So I was like, all right.
Wow.
So then in my mind, this is somebody that's doing it. So I was like, okay, maybe he's right. Maybe he's on to something. So I'm going to just focus on the airplane. Then the airplane bit, man, it's just a true story, man. It's, you know, trying to fit in that airport, trying to fit in that bathroom in the airplane, man. It's, the struggle's real, bro. And I think like the physical part brings it more to light.
Yes.
And I think like, you know, you get to
Yes.
see it, and it adds to the comedy. And a lot of people was physical back in the day. You know, you had like Eddie Murphy doing certain little things here. You got the Kevin Hart now, and you got a lot of people that's just like Ernest J used to do this. Think about his brother. He walks as a black comic on BET, bro. It's just him, the movement. Hilarious, man. Ralph Harris does this one about his uncle and his grandfather. Dude, oh man, the movement. He goes in the character, he puts the coat on, he got some shades and walk around. Dude, he's not even like saying anything. You're just like, oh my God, it's gonna be funny. Because you're just seeing the character come.
Yeah.
It's like, I guess like, you know, acting, you know, you get up there on stage and it's like, you bring it to life.
Yeah, and like you said, you're an actor too, which I
Yeah.
left out in the beginning. Can't believe I did that.
This guy right
With
here.
his credentials.
Unreal.
He's going to, I think there's going to be a conversation after the conversation maybe about that. But
Lost footage.
yes, the lost footage.
Bill's like, look, man, I'm sorry, bro. I didn't mean. Damn, you're tall, bro.
At 6'3", I never thought I'd feel small, but this is one of the times that I do. Okay, now,
Right.
you're always, another thing about you that I'm so impressed with is that you're always working, whether it's open mics. I remember one time a couple months ago, we're talking on the phone, and you're always filling your calendar up. You want to stay busy, so whether it's shows, open mics, you're traveling state to state, putting all kinds of miles on your car.
Yeah.
So one of the shows that I know you have coming up, I want to touch on, and then if there's anything else, I want to make sure we cover that too.
Okay.
But the day after Christmas,
Right.
you're going to be at the Rivet in
Right.
Pottstown.
Right.
And I can't wait for that show. I can't think of a better thing to do the day after Christmas than to go see you at the Rivet. And there's going to be some other great comics
some
there
great
as well.
comics there, man.
So for people who, and it's in Pottstown, PA, it's not
Right.
too far from Soul Joel's. It's also in Pottstown. So what could people have to look forward to or to see when they come out the night after Christmas to see you do your thing at the Rivet?
I mean, I think that they're gonna come out to just a great show. I mean, like our headliner, he's gonna be killing. We got another co-feature there, and they're gonna be doing their thing, man. For far as me,
Yeah.
first of all,
Because I'm coming to see you. I'll see the other people too, but I'm coming to see you.
right. I paid him to say that. All right, whatever.
I'm gonna make up for that actor thing I missed earlier.
There it
one way or the
is.
other.
So for me, honestly, I mean, I feel, shout out to Dan and his wife.
Yeah. Dan Chioda.
Yeah, he. It feels special to me because it was handpicked. You know what I mean? So it wasn't a thing that I asked to get on the show. So after you're busting and hustling and you know how it is, man, sending out tapes, sending
yeah.
out freaking emails, and then the emails don't work because the emails are full. So now I was like, I got to slide into promoters and bookers DM like I'm trying to holler. Hey, listen, man, I was just wondering, you know, I saw your show, and I was like, I see that you put shows on, so I was wondering if I could, just, get a little time, But nah, so when Dan approached me, he had hit me up, and he was like, hey, man, you did a great job at Punchline. So I was on the Steve Renal show with Steve and Friends.
Okay.
So then I was at the Punchline, and I went up there, and I thought I did fairly decent. You know how when you look at the clip, you're like, damn,
Oh, yeah.
I didn't do that great. But when you was there, you was like, man,
Bro,
I was
somebody laughed.
I don't remember the last bit, and it's quiet, but when I was there, it was good.
Yeah, there's something wrong with the audio portion of this tape. I don't know what's going on.
Can we fix it? I'm bringing it down here to the studio. Let my man get a hand on it. So, no, when he hit me up, he's like, Tony, I thought you was one of the funny dudes on the, and it was like, it was a pretty decent show. And it was a lot of us up there. So the fact that he felt that I should be a part of this. And for me, I did a show in New York, and I did a show for mental health awareness. It was my own show that I put on, and it was a gym that I was a part of. And we set up there, and we did the show. And then I had a guy from the gym come there, and it was a Metabolic Meltdown. If you guys ever want to work out, they are expanding their business and stuff like that. So anyway, I'm up there, and we packed the house on I think it was a Sunday it was, and wow, bro, we raised over $2,500 for mental health awareness, man. That was real big. So for me, doing something like that, and then hear somebody asking me to do a fundraiser, like a real meaningful fundraiser for his situation, man, I was like, just to be a part of it is like huge, So I'm like, we're gonna sit up here, we're going to make something bigger than what he probably thought it was gonna be. And if you guys ever saw, make sure you check out Dan's page. He has the
Die
interview.
Laughing.
Yeah, but he has that interview. You see the
he was on local news. He was Dan Chioda and his wife Chelsea were on Action News. They did a feature on Dan and what he's been going through, waiting for that lung transplant.
Yeah,
and he's formed this nonprofit organization, Die Laughing, and
literally
the two of them are great. Dan and Chelsea.
The name
are great.
of that alone is just crazy.
Especially given Dan's situation.
That's what I was saying.
And his outlook. Talk about another positive guy.
Bro, there it is, man. Positive energy fights positive energy, So he's like, definitely. He's like, Tom, I want you to be a part of it. I was like, okay. And then he's already, I want you to be part of these other projects and stuff. So I'm like, all right, bet. Mark Riccadonna has said to me, man, you know Mark Riccadonna?
No.
Yeah, great comic, man.
Okay.
And he's one of those hustlers out there. He has said he never turns down a show, man, really. He's like, every show is just something to be said for. He's like, even though I'm not there where my peers are and I'm not there like on these big stages and this, that, and the third, but he's like, every show. And it felt good to hear another comic say that, because that's how I look at like every little show that I I'm doing shows sometimes, man. You don't get paid for them. Yeah. Just to be like,
that's kind of where I'm at,
bro. I did a show,
and I don't care. I get paid in laughs.
I did a show with Helena from the one that
Helena Angley.
Helena Angley, yeah. So I reached out to her. She goes, so this is all I have. It's just guest spots. I was like, well, I got the same thing. I'll be awesome. There. Yeah. So I was like, no, I can't pay you. I was like, yeah, I know what guest spots mean. I got it. Excuse me. So I go to do a guest spot. 7 minutes. I time it and everything. I don't even do the airplane joke, bro. I just do just material.
Oh, wow.
Well, I always do material. Stop. So but I didn't do a lot of physical stuff, as I was trying to say. Stage was real small.
Is this the Sharrett Winery over in Hamilton, or the other one? Oh, up in Ringo's up in like Princeton, near Princeton?
Yeah, I think Old York.
Yeah, that's
Winery.
it. Yep.
So I go there, I do 7, get off stage. She's like, oh my God, that's it. I'm booking you for a show. You're definitely getting booked. I said, okay, because it was like an audition. But those are the things, man. You got to go out and do these little mics and do these, and even go to support other comics. That's another thing that I find myself doing, is going to go like, so if you got a show somewhere, if I'm in the area, I'm trying to come to your show and support. Not no hate, just come and support. Not trying to get on stage, come and support. And then you get people like, hey, you want to get on? I'm like, yeah, put me on for 5 if you want. So, but yeah, so I'm really grateful to be doing this. So when he picked me, and I was like, all right, man. I was like, you saw something funny. His girl had, I think she emailed, what's her name?
Chelsea,
yeah. So Chelsea had emailed me, or she inboxed me and was like, hey, she's at a gas station. She's like, so I said something to somebody. She was in Ashburn. She said, at a gas station. Anyway, somehow it got into comedy talk with this random person. They was like, who's your favorite comic? And Dude was like, Tony Rogers. I was like, nah, he must have meant Tony Rock, Tony Roberts,
Yeah.
Tony Robbins. I mean, he's a motivational speaker,
Yeah,
but still.
Yeah.
So she was like, no, he said you. And I was like, well, how do you know? She was like, I said, what's one of his jokes? He was like, hit him with the 7. I was like, I'm done.
Whoa.
I said, hit him with the 7.
yeah.
I said, okay. Yeah, because that's on TikTok, it's on social media, but that hit him with the 7, man, that's my joint, bro.
Well, and there's a picture of you and I from that night at Joel's where in the picture you
Oh, yeah, I
hit
told
with
him.
the 7.
Hit him
Yeah.
with the 7, man. Yeah, if you call me, I got a picture of me and you on here.
Yeah.
It pops up on my phone.
There you go.
I like to get, for some reason, I like the pictures attached to
Yeah,
your profile.
same here.
I think it
Yeah.
helps. I'm be real, it helps because how many times,
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? How many Bobs, like, damn, which Bob is it?
Yeah.
Bob 1, Bob 2? Oh, jeez, if I had a picture, it'd be so much easier.
That's a great idea. Great idea,
I'm
man.
like, send the iPhones, let's go.
Yeah. Okay, so we're looking at let's say we just talked about the night after Christmas at the
Right.
Rivet with Dan and Chelsea and that great show.
Okay.
What does 2026 look like for you? I know you're going to be out there working hard or whatever, but anything in particular, any goals, anything you have in mind for next year?
So for next year, I really want to, and I hate saying it, I want to try to do it, though. I'm going to do it. I'm doing the dry bar. I want to do dry bar.
Okay.
I want to get that time in. It's going to test my skills, which is going to be great. And then put it out there and see what happens. See what happens in this next fold, right? I'm really lucky and fortunate to have the same energy as when I started it. I remember when Steve was like, we did a show somewhere. Steve was like, man, I like the fact that like you're always excited about the show. I was like, hell yeah. I was like, I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know. So I'm like, nah, just take it for what it is. Gratitude is the best attitude. I'm grateful to have these opportunities. So even if it's like I said, paid, non-paid, something to be said for, where we're doing this. You're able to do this. There's no real format to it. When you get into it, you're just like, it's charted territory. We're just trying to learn off each other, so you sit around and you get up there and then it's like years go by. So can you withstand the longevity? I think that's the hardest part of it.
Yeah, I think that's the key. Is just kind of sticking with it.
Yeah, because it sounds like you're not booked, man. You're not. And I'm trying to fill up the calendar now.
Yep.
It's looking kind of thin. I'm not gonna lie, but we'll see what happens. All I could do is just keep believing and keep reaching out to these promoters and bookers, and I want to
Well,
go.
we'll record you at the Rivet on the 26th. I'm sure that there'll be some great content there for you to get out, and the stuff that you put out is great. And that's the other thing too when it comes to the attitude of gratitude and the positivity. Those aren't just words, man. You're living it, and you're demonstrating it on stage, which is great, and off stage, which is great too. So
Thank you.
I have one last question that I want to ask you, and I think this is one that I ask of all my guests because I think it gives a real window into the person, maybe more so than any other one.
Right.
So if you were to look back at all these experiences, all these things we've talked about.
Yes, I'm an actor. I'm
yes.
sorry.
Yes. You may not have heard.
You say I got him stumped.
It takes a lot.
It
takes a lot to get me speechless. But Tony's done that. Yeah, I'm going to be watching footage of his acting gigs for the next, I don't know, several weeks over and over again.
It's just one gig.
That gig. I'm sorry, I put an S on it. So here's my question.
All right.
Looking back.
Right.
What are you most proud of?
Most proud of? Let's see here. Looking back, what am I most proud of? Being able to, I think, share it, right?
Mm-hmm.
To share the gift. Denzel said, there's parts in your life and moments in your life that you go through, right? He said there's 3 parts. Part 1 is when you learn it. Like you learn the comedy stuff, right? You learn it and stuff like that, and you turn around, you're not making any money, you're just learning, right? And he's not saying this for comedy. I'm putting comedy context on it. And then the second part is when you earn it, right? Now you start to earn money, you start to earn respect, and people are starting to book you places and stuff like that. And then you get to a point in your life, the third part is when you return it. Now you start to return it, right? So now you start to return the gift that was given to you and putting people on this and like, setting them up for situations where you struggled. So that's what I'm most proud of, being able to, I guess, see the difference between all that and being able to help people if I can, but still being a student in the process, So I feel like the world's a classroom. Everybody that we meet is a teacher. So you're always a student who's forever learning, right? So that's the thing that I would say I'm most proud of, is that the ability to still want to learn. Because I think you get to a point where like not saying you think you know it all, but some people may think they know it all, but then some people are too stubborn to even want to be a sponge.
Yeah.
You know, so for me, I'm just like, I'm trying to be a sponge as the best way I can. You know, so, you know, quick to listen, slow to speak. I'm like, okay, here we go. Let me see what I could get. You know what I mean? Even you doing the podcasting, like being at the level where you're at, to me, that's commendable. That's big. That's why I wanted to sit down with you and do it one-on-one, because it's more personable. It's more like you're running around like crazy trying to get people to do it on the TV. And I'm not knocking on a computer screen.
It's convenient, but there's nothing like this.
That's what I mean. So I'm like, I don't care about coming out of my way. This is something that you are passionate about. This is something that you are good at. So for me to have that ability to be like, get up, let's go, let's do this. I'm proud of that. I'm proud that I'm able to do that. You know, I'm proud that I'm able to like, you know, wake up every day and like get out there and either, you know, share some kind of positive energy or make you laugh or like, you know, make someone's day just to, you know, be in the area that they're in, because you would want to know how it feels to be on that other end, right? Like, so like, you know what I mean? To sit there and like, oh man, like someone's happy to see you. You're like, oh, you're happy to see me? Yeah. Oh, okay, that's what's up. All right. Now my day's feeling a little better, you know? So those I'm saying things. And shout out to my family. First and foremost, those guys really put me on it. You know, they've been there for me. They don't, you know, they come to the shows that they can, but every time I said a lot of ums in this, I do not like that. Make sure you edit that out. I'm trying to think of the words I keep repeating. I'm like, damn, I said a lot and like, what the hell? So yeah, so those are the things. The family, the people I get to meet, these moments like this, because they go down in history. Right? That's part of your journey and part of your legacy is like the things that you got to do that was positive.
Right.
You're learning from the things that you know, did that was like the stupid choices and you didn't know that what the outcome was going to be. And it's like, okay, let me learn from that and then keeping it, you know, moving forward. So yeah, man, shout out to you too for even putting this together and having the patience to turn around and, you know, sit back and was like, all right, I'm going to see what I could do. I'm going to go and try to get us a studio and we're going to do it. And I'm like, okay. He's just talking. We're going to end up on the headphones and I'm going to have one of those little white cords that come out with the mic. Can you hear me? Check. Can you hear me? So.
Nah, man, we're in the professional studio, Westchester Studios.
Big,
thanks
bro.
to Jay Yoder, who referred us over to Matt Simmons, and we've got Mitch here in the studio with us. So great guys, great studio, and you know, I'm loving this, man. Like I said, Zoom is great. I have a lot of guests on from Hollywood or from Nashville or from Europe or wherever. I don't know that they're going to be driving, you know, to Westchester or anywhere else.
They won't.
But when we can do it, and the fact that, you know, Tony doesn't live around the corner. He put in a couple hours in the car getting here. Okay, so it means a lot. I appreciate it. And I have to tell you, I also appreciate that answer. Again, I think it says a lot about who you are and just your makeup, you know, as a person, let alone the actor.
There it is.
And author and comedian that he is.
Beer League. Beer League is I got called to do a part, and I did a small part for a big guy. So I'm going to try to promote it more on social media. I just haven't done it because I've been doing so many shows. Yeah. Because I want to give it love, right? I want to give it the attention that it belongs, you know, that it deserves. Because those guys put a lot of time in, and they, you know, I had to do the role. I had to do the bit over and over. Here's one of the funny parts, right? So we're in the room. We're on a set. There's extras in there, right? So then, like, we need all the talent to stay, and everybody else leave the room. I was like, oh well, yeah, I'm talent. I get to stay. It felt good for some reason. I was like, I'm talent. You know, I got a couple lines. You know, so that was big. I was like, wow, I like this right here. Yeah. So, but yeah, man. So, you keep doing what you're doing too, man. We're gonna get some more shows together, me and you. You know, hopefully, and
well, that's what I'm looking forward to, because you know, having the conversation is great, but you know, one of my goals for 26 is to do some shows with you wherever they are. I'll get in the car and go wherever I got to go so we can have some fun.
I'm gonna hold you to it now. You heard him, right?
Yeah. All right. I said it right here, right now. This will not be edited out. We're not editing anything out. And I'll say one last thing to you, Tony.
We are.
With the ums, right? So this is a true story. Okay. And folks, for those of you who've been with us from the beginning for, 7 years, I did the show with Rosie. Okay. So it was the Rosie and Bill show before it was the Bill show. Right. And at one point, the two of us, we had this habit of, what's that classic filler people use? Right,
right.
Or at the end of a sentence, the beginning of a sentence, you just kind of throw it in there. And we took this like ceramic piggy bank. And I forget what the name was that was on it. It was saving for something. I put a piece of masking tape and I called it the fund. Right. And every time one of us said, you put a quarter in there.
Ah,
Well, within a couple weeks, this thing was filled.
jeez.
But the lesson was learned because every
Right.
time you say, boom, quarter in.
Right.
And then I was going to make it $1 each time. And I
Right.
decided, I'm just going to say, anymore,
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, because when you're writing and you're doing comedy,
yeah.
and even when I write my positive pick me ups, is I try not to utter a particular word but so many times, except
Right.
for like if it's she or something like that. And when there's a premise there, but other than that, it's one of those things where it's like you try to take that stuff out, like 'cause
Yeah.
you just like because you don't. I feel like it's a thing where you're like, man, is it a nervous thing? Is it
Sure.
a thing where we feel
I think
like
it is. You feel like you need to fill the open space a lot of times where sometimes just a pause
would
can be even more effective. But
that's
you know
taking
what?
time.
We're both learning, we're
Right.
both growing, we're
Right.
both having fun.
Facts.
This show was launched in 2018 to be a source of positivity on
Right.
social media. You're all about positivity. That's part of what brought us together.
Yes.
So, Tony, I thank you for making the
Yes.
drive, taking the time
I
to join me
appreciate
here
to be
today.
Thank you.
And man, I am looking forward to doing a whole lot more with you in 2026, my
Let's
friend.
make it happen, man. Let's make it happen. Thank you very much. Shout out to Matt. It's Matt, right?
Matt and Mitch. Yep.
Behind
Yep.
the-
So we
behind the
got
screen?
we got
Okay.
Mitch on the other side of the
Oh,
camera.
Mitch. Damn,
Matt's
you said
down the
Matt.
hall.
Okay, you said
Yeah.
Matt and Mitch.
We
Threw
got
me off.
Matt, we
I
got
forgot.
Mitch, we got the crew here at Westchester Studios.
Yes,
did a great
Westchester
job.
Studio. Yes, Eminem in the building. Let's go.
Yeah, there you go. Eminem is in the building. And folks, I want to thank you for watching. Without you, this wouldn't be possible. And we'll see you next time.
Here we are at the wall of famous people that have performed here. Comics who have hit the stage at Soul Joe's and killed it. Shout out to all the comics that are in these pictures and those that are coming soon. Keep doing your thing. One day, I will make this wall. Don't know how long it's going to take me, but trust me, give me time. And when I do make it, I'm going to make sure that everyone gets to see that I made it on the wall. Yes. A lot of the big heavy hitters have made it. And my time will come. And when it does, I will make sure that you know that I was on. Wait a minute. Did I see something? Hold on. Give me a second here. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait up. Who is this guy? Shut up.
This week's episode has been brought to you by Doherty & Company Insurance Services for all your business and personal insurance needs. Our friends at Tennis Addiction in Exton, PA. And the Malin Agency, where exceeding expectations is how they do business.